got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm Big Al. No celebrity co-host this week because I wanted her all to myself. Last week we had Hillbilly Joe, and we had his new partner, Hillbilly Funk. Interesting conversation there. And if you didn't see it, go on the YouTube channel, go on the Around the Turnbuckle YouTube channel and check it out. But tonight we have Miss Hillbilly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am excellent. So, first and foremost, thank you for your time tonight. Second, tell us about the circumstances of you meeting Hillbilly Joe.
Well, I met the real name, which I will not say on here. And it was a true love story. And then shortly after we got married, he just came home from work one day and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to become a wrestler." That threw me for a loop. And I said, "What do you mean?" And he went into detail and telling me that he saw somebody that's offering to take him on, kind of thing. And he just started training, and it just, next thing I knew, I was married to a wrestler.
And did you immediately you were immediately supportive as far as like going to his matches? Like when he had his first match, were you there, or did
I
you
was
wait a while?
there. I was there. My kids were there. I believe his parents and my parents were there. I know my sister and niece were there. We just all showed up.
Now, before the show started, fans, we were discussing the fact that she wasn't really into wrestling much before this all got going. So I'm not going to go into your love or your passion for this business. However, I will ask you that now that you are following at least his career, do you have an appreciation of it? How smart are you? How much has he taught you about it? Things like that. Do you know? Are you fearful for his life every show you go to, or how do you feel?
Um, I'm very excited when he wrestles certain people because I think it's going to be a great battle. Or, to me, it's battle. And it's going to be a great show. I enjoy watching some of the other wrestlers because I've watched them progress from just little babies, pretty much, to these great wrestlers. And that's what I've watched my husband do. I've watched him become this just great wrestler that truly loves to do it. And I love to help him do it any type of way I can.
What do you mean by that?
I help him at the merch table. I help him with designs and making some of his shirts when I can. Coming up with ideas with him. I love discussing ideas that we can do for our different shirts.
So does he like go on to like your creative mind? I mean, do you have a creative mind? I mean, do you like to come up with, different, designs for his t-shirts and things like that together?
Yes, he might come to me and say, "I want our next shirt to just say this." And then I'll say, "Okay, what about this? Or can we do it on this design? Can we do this background?" I love talking to him about that and then figuring out, okay, I need this many shirts, I need this. And I love doing that with them.
That's excellent. I mean, that's very supportive, but it's great that you also get to be part of the process because, not too many. I mean, I've met, been involved with the business about 6 years, and I've met wrestlers who have their wives or significant others with them. And, some of them are very, very supportive. Some of them are, when they get body slammed, they wince. They know it's a work, but at the same time, these guys get themselves put through a lot of punishment for our entertainment. So you see him, on times where he gets, body slammed or suplexed or dropped on his head or whatever. I'm sure you have those moments where you're like, oh my God, he's okay, right? Yeah.
I do. Anytime they're working his shoulder real bad and I'm seeing it just go in these weird positions, or his legs are going in these crazy positions, being bent around poles and stuff, I'm like, no, no. And then I'm like, are you okay after? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Now, there has been times where he's been hurt or, things like that, which is a result of wrestling.
Do you have a story that pops up into mind about a time where you watched him wrestle and it looked like to you, from as a fan standpoint, that you were, from a fan standpoint, you were genuinely concerned with his welfare and you didn't get to see him do you have a story like that?
He wrestled one time. I don't remember what it was, but his shoulder got put into the side of the ring not too long after he had surgery on it, and I just knew he was hurt, and I feared that he was going to have to do that shoulder surgery again. I just didn't want him going through that pain again. And he was holding it when he left. And then I texted him, and there was a brief time there where I just generally did not know if he was okay or what was going to come from it.
Hey guys, glad to catch you. Hi, Thundercat. What's up, brother? Thundercat's a wrestler down in Alabama, Miss Hillbilly.
Hi.
So yeah, and I'd love to have his wife on here too, because I've not met her, but I've heard some great things. But you are the first.
Okay,
So
excited.
it's interesting to me listening to you talk about your concerns when he does something happens to him in the ring that does look rather devastating, and sometimes you'll go in the back and he's fine, everything's good. Other times it's not, because that sounds to me like the wife of somebody who's in any sport. I'm sure that the players' wives at a football game, the players' wives at a baseball game have genuine concern for their husbands during that. And for all those people out there that knock professional wrestling, we could call it a work all we want, and we can call it predetermined and all that. But, these guys put their bodies on the line for entertainment. I can't say that enough, because I respect it. That's why I do what I do. That's why I give them this platform to tell their stories.
I have sat there many times and just said, how do they find this fun? When something's going on and you're hurting the next couple of days, and you're, walking around the house, this hurts to sit down, or you're hoarse from hollering. I'm like, that was fun to feel like you were in a car wreck. And they say yes.
They love it. I mean, you wouldn't be doing it if I've had 3 conversations with Hillbilly Joe, and what I've learned from him is that he loves this business
He
more than
does.
more than almost anybody I've talked to. And all he wants to do is just put on a good show for the fans, whether he wins, whether he loses. He knows what it's all about. The business, that is what it's all about. And as long as his body can still do it, I think he's going to do it for a long time.
I think he's going to do it a long time, but I know that we have 3 grandbabies, and he wants to see them out there and say, that's my pop pop. He's very excited for that moment, and I think it's going to be the sweetest moment. But, he's this big, tough wrestler, but those grandbabies, they have him wrapped.
Greg says, I almost landed on my head a few weeks ago. Someone grabbed my leg while I was about to do a 450. It was rough. Was the wife in the audience? That's what I want to know. Like, did she see this? That, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what Miss Hillbilly sees when she sees her husband get attacked in the shoulder, or like you said, legs wrapped around the pole, things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, as a concerned citizen, I mean, I have a cousin who is a wrestler, and watching him, just as a cousin, I'm concerned for his welfare when he gets superplexed off the top ropes or something weird like that, things like that. But I can just imagine a wife, just that's the father of your children, that's the grandfather of your grandchildren, that's the love of your life, and he's up there, and these guys are trying to break his arm off with somehow.
It is very tough. And the other issue I have is you build so many connections in the wrestling community as you're at all these shows. They're keeping up with you, and you build bonds with the wives, and you see these guys wrestle that, yes, I'm more concerned for my husband, of course, but I'm also concerned for the wrestler in the Nets match and the Nets, because I've watched those guys grow up. So it's tough seeing them too get hurt. And I've texted my husband, is so and so okay? That was a tough fall, or it's tough injury. And I do know that one time my husband was
Yeah.
fighting with Barry Wolf. I'll say him, and they were going at it, and I literally wanted to just run out there. I was so upset, and that fight is probably the one that sticks out in my head the most that night. And another wrestler was standing by us, couldn't wrestle that night or whatever, and he's like, it's okay, Miss Hillbilly, it's okay. I was like, it's not. But that was a tough
It's
match.
great. It's great to hear that, like, you have gotten to know the other wrestlers' wives and share their concern when their guy is up there putting his body on the line.
Yes. I sit right next to Pharaoh's wife at most shows. Um, and we are constantly, oh, look at that. Oh, no, what about that? We we talk about these matches.
Now, do most of the fans know who you are, or do you kind of blend in and some of them don't know who you are? And then an extent to that question would be, have you ever caught them saying things about your husband in a derogatory manner? Uh, just as a fan, just sitting, I know normally he's a good guy, but like uh, you know, have you ever been sitting next to somebody that yelled you, Joe, you suck, or something like that, and you got kind of offended?
No, I know it's all part of the show, and most of the fans know who I am. They follow up with me when I'm there. Um, they notice if I'm not there, and they wonder, is she okay? Um, it's it's neat because we just follow each other in these life that we never would have met if he hasn't became a wrestler. But I have heard a few little remarks here and there, and I just kind of had to laugh about it or say, okay. And sometimes I play into it. Oh, really? You think that? Well, what about this?
Uh,
And just have fun with it. Because I mean, they don't know at that point. They're new to the show or something. So that's fun doing that.
right. That's awesome. That's awesome. You can have a conversation about, you know, and they have no idea who they're talking to, and that's great. That's
Yes.
good stuff. Thundercat, I have this little notion I give to her to let her know I'm okay. Oh, probably. I think he probably meant like a little motion, like maybe a thumbs up, or maybe you know, maybe he holds his head or something like that, to let his wife know that he's okay when something like that happens in the ring that only she knows about. It's like a sign that only, and I didn't give her that notion because of the pain. It was because at that moment she was screaming at the opponents. Do you find yourself doing that, Miss Hillbilly, screaming at his opponents?
Every once in a while, but I will say on that, what he just suggested, I know you're watching Hillbilly. Please do that. Let's come up with some type of little secret motion. That would probably ease
There
my
you
heart
go.
a lot. So,
That's a
yeah,
great advice right there.
it is.
Yeah, Hillbilly Joe. Hillbilly Joe. You guys need to talk about that when we're off the air there.
Come up with that little secret signal. That hurt, but I'm okay.
um, so now that he's been doing this now quite a while, describe the difference between the beginning when you first started going to shows and maybe now it's a little bit more fun and it's a little bit more relaxed now.
In the beginning, it was so new. You didn't know what to do and how it was going to work out. And there, it seemed like there was only a show here and there, but now they've been doing it so much and so long. I think it's been 8 years, which it doesn't feel like 8 years sometimes. And then sometimes it feels like, oh, he's been doing this forever. You go into this state of, this is the normal. This is what we're going to do. This is our weekend, and I've got it in my calendar. And if we're going to do something, I'm like, oh, no, we've got wrestling that weekend. Or he'll text me, hey, I want to go to this on this date if I don't have wrestling. And I'm able to just pull it up and say, oh, you're booked here, or you're free here. And we're now in such a routine that it's the normal, and you know what's going to happen, and that we're just going to go see our second family and have fun that night. And I'm genuinely bummed.
I love that you
A
call it
lot
a
of times I
second
can't go.
family.
hmm They are truly a family.
Oh,
If I'm sick, they're checking on us. If we need something, they're there, and vice versa. We want to be there for them. It truly is a family that has a way of just always going to be in our hearts, no matter what happens with his career.
I love that. That's how I feel about the people in Quakertown, the local show that I go to here in Pennsylvania. Um, I do ring announcing there sometimes. I do commentary there every time, and it's just nice to see everybody. We get together once a month, and like you said, it's family, and just like any other family, we sometimes we have fights or arguments or something like that, but you know we work them out because I love when organizations come together like that, not just the locker room and not just the wrestlers immediate family, but also the fans kind of make you feel like you're home away from home.
I agree. And something about the wrestling groups that he's with, they're just incredible. And I've seen them not only open their hearts for wrestlers and the family members, but for fans. They have reached out to them when they're down with something. Our loyal fans, they're coming to every show. They're driving hours and hours just to see their favorite wrestlers, our multiple favorite wrestlers. And so when we see them going through something, we want to reach out and check on them. And that these both groups are just incredible at touching base with their fans. And Hillbilly will come home and say, this fan's going through this. I'm going to go ahead and I want to mail a shirt to them. Or this one's in the hospital. I would like to go see him, but I don't think I can with work. So let's get this to him. He's constantly caring about his fans. And I just love that.
That's amazing, and that's what it's all about. But yeah, I love that he does that extra work, and I love that it's just natural to him. Like it makes me care about him even more than I already do. And that's great. And we need more wrestlers out there that do that. We need more. When you have a stage like that, when you have fans, they need to know that you care. They need to know that you care about your
Yes.
fans.
I totally agree.
So,
And most of those wrestlers are the exact same way. That's why I love that. It's just, it's your family.
um, what was one of your favorite either moments of his in the ring? It doesn't have to be a match per se, but like one of your favorite moments that you'll never forget from a Hillbilly Joe match.
Um, I I think he passed me a note. I think that the when he won the belt, that has been just that general. I'm so proud of you. This is what we've done. And I couldn't wait to go get him. And I look at that picture quite often of down by the ring. He's got the belt up in the air, and I'm like on my tippy toes, kind of with my arms around his shoulders. And it's that moment of, this is what we've been doing. This is this is what you do. You deserve that belt. And it was just a general moment. That has been my proudest moment. I think the funniest moment so far is when he tag teamed and joined with Pharaoh Funk, and he's normally out in overalls, but came out in these blue jean shorts and tennis shoes and a muscle wife beater type shirt, and a jersey and the baseball hat sideways. And he was doing Pharaoh Funk dance and like looking like a chicken, doing his knees sideways. And I was laughing so hard there was tears. This big old country guy up there just going at it. And it became even funnier when he taught Pharaoh how to do the hillbilly dance. And they just got up there
That's
on stage
great.
and had fun.
That's a great answer. And, to the naysayers out there that, make fun of people getting excited about a belt, or like a wrestler getting emotional, like legit emotional in the ring when they win a belt. Um, it's a real moment for them. To them, it's a moment of wow, like you just said. And I love that you used the word we. You said we have been working to this. We have been trying to get to
Not
this.
like him, though.
And right, but what I'm saying is that I love that you're saying we because you're part of it. Your support system for him has, just enhanced his love for this business and put him in the position to win that belt. So that belt's just as much yours as it was his the day he won it there.
It was exciting. To me, it's like a job promotion
Right.
or a big accomplishment at a job because he worked. He did just like any other wrestler that has any belt. And then when it's taken from you by some mm, sneakiness, I'll say it that way. Keep this a family friendly show. And
Chicanery.
yeah, you just want to be like, no, get that back.
I'm sure he will, and I'm sure him and Pharaoh will work their way towards the tag belts too. I
I
believe
hope
all
so.
fans at our shows know who our significant others are, and we send, and I tend to give small smooch during your what?
He
I think
probably
he
tends to like a small smooch to her or something
to his
like that.
wife on the way to the ring.
Yes. Um,
That's nice of him.
yeah, Hillbilly he knows where I'm at. He knows I'm there, but he is so in the moment. And I think something that has also gotten where more know who I am is he had this big rivalry going with another wrestler. And while he was fighting at a match, that wrestler snuck in the back door and attacked me.
Oh,
Then Hillbilly got extra mad about that. And, there was nothing that he really, knew what to do yet because he had to finish that match. And at the end, he stopped the match and came running over there because you're not going to put your hands on me. And then they got to do a battle, this wrestle over and over and over, but I got to go up to the ring and I did some sneakiness, and then I got to slap him across the face, and that just felt so good, and it echoed through the whole place.
You actually hit him
straight across the face.
Oh my goodness. I got to see that video. Is that video available somewhere?
I do not know. I'll have to ask Hillbilly.
Yeah. Hillbilly's going to have to send me a link to that one or something.
That was a fun night.
Well, Miss Hillbilly, is there anything that we have not talked about that you would like to talk about before I let you go?
I don't think so. Thank you for having me.
On behalf of all the wrestlers that I know and all the wrestlers that'll watch this either now or later, thank you for showing, if they're not already, because I know most wrestlers' wives are at every match, like you said, selling his merch, supporting him in any way he can during his wrestling shows and things like that, leading up to the show, or maybe after the show, the day after, if he's a little sore, things like that. So on behalf of all of them, I want to thank you for tonight talking about exactly what a wrestler's wife should, how they should support their, no matter what their goals are in the business. If they want to just entertain and have a good time and wrestle wherever they can wrestle and enjoy themselves and enjoy, and please their fans, so be it. If they have dreams of someday getting to TV or getting to the WWE, that's a whole nother thing. Either way, it's great to see a wife who supports their husband in his dreams and everything that he does. And it's very refreshing. Thank you.
Well, he supports us, and he will, if I came up with an idea like, hey, I'm going to do this, he might question it, but he's going to support me. I know he would.
Well, again, thank you for your time tonight. And I want to thank Hillbilly Joe for introducing my audience to you. It was such a pleasure talking to you tonight, and I hope I get to do it again soon sometime.
All right, thank you. I'll look forward to it.
Love it. All right, we'll say goodbye to you, and I got a few things to say, and then I'm going to go off the air. But ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hillbilly, there she is, and thank you very much for being on Around the Turnbuckle tonight.
You're welcome. Bye.
There she goes, Miss Hillbilly. All right, guys. Hey, listen, I got some things to go over here. Next week on the program, on this very channel, at this very time, SWA's own Crimson Matthews will be right here on the hot seat, and we'll get to know him, and we'll get to know where he started, and we'll talk about his entire wrestling career. I will have a celebrity co-host next week. And also this coming Sunday, this coming Saturday on the 22nd of August, I will be conducting a 3WA pre-show at 12 noon on this channel also. And for those of you in the Lehigh Valley and for those of you in the Quakertown area, come on down to Quakertown. That is Saturday night at the Q Mart. Doors open at 6:00, and there'll be 3WA action for you, and I will be doing another edition of Turnbuckle Talk. My guest has not been announced, nor have I figured that out yet. So when the time is right, we'll let you know who that is. But, check out the 3WA Facebook page for more information on the announced card. If you don't want to wait to the pre-show on Saturday, the announced card is on there. Just go right on to the 3WA Facebook page and check out the lineup that they have announced so far. Also, I want to give a heartfelt congratulations to the new SWO Unlimited champion. I don't know if he's going to see this or anybody from SWO is going to see this, But it does my heart happy having been part of SWO for a good 18 months. I got to know the Daredevil Sean Rollins, and he worked hard, and he worked through injuries, and he worked through a lot of things. And it was so great to see that. And I can't wait to see the match on the SWO YouTube channel, that the Unlimited Champion is now the Daredevil Sean Rollins. So that's great to hear. Great news there. I want to wish a happy birthday to our old friend Attilio Aprile in New York. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday, Attilio. And yes, you will be back on the program sooner than later, I'm sure. For the rest of you, you know, the conversation with Miss Hillbilly is only the door that opens up to a lot of different things. If you are a wrestler, if you are a referee, if you are a cameraman, if you are part of a camera crew, if you're a photographer, if you're a manager, if you're a ring announcer, if you're a promoter, you want to promote your local events, get in touch with me ASAP, because my spots are starting to fill up now each and every Sunday night at 7:00 here on Around the Turnbuckle. Crimson Matthews will be here next week, as you see at the bottom of your screen right there. Crimson Matthews, SWA's own Crimson Matthews, down there from the Mississippi area down there. So for, Miss Hillbilly, and my thanks to Hillbilly Joe for sending her our way. It was a great conversation. I hope she had fun. But that opens the door for wrestlers' wives too. So if you're a wrestler's wife and you want to air some grievances live on my show, just let me know. We'll get you on here. But yes, let me know ASAP if you're interested in being a guest. Please like and follow and subscribe and all that good stuff to all my videos for Around the Turnbuckle. Check out the Around the Turnbuckle group page for the latest local news as far as wrestling goes. Plus, I always post a lot of WWE and AEW things there when they happen. Interesting, something big happens when, what's going to happen at All In. My son is getting All In. I'll talk about All In because I'm actually going to watch it. It's their big Wembley Stadium show every year, AEW. And so, are we going to get the New Day? I don't know what they're going to call themselves. They can't call themselves the New Day, but it's going to be interesting. But anyway, that and more next week. Tune in right on this channel for Crimson Matthews and myself and a mystery co-host. In the meantime, for Miss Hillbilly, I've been Big Al. This has been Around the Turnbuckle, and we'll see you all next week.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you smile!
Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.